I'm riding my bike across Africa, and we've got a border crossing to accomplish today, so come along for another day in my life of riding my bike across the continent. We are making our way out of Guinea and heading towards Cote d'Ivoire, which I'm very excited about. It always feels like a really big accomplishment to unlock a new country, and yeah, just as like a visual, actual representation that we are making progress along this big journey. Interestingly, the road we were traveling on today was like really great and paved for the most of it, but then anytime we would come across a town, it would just be like an unpaved, messy, and muddy mess. And so I don't know what that was about, but it was mostly really good. So we were moving really quickly for most of the day. We saw this shoulder, which is pretty rare to come across. So we sat here and had our lunch, which was really nice to be able to have like a restful break throughout our big day. We were cycling through the Mount Nimba Reserve. So the surroundings were really beautiful. Mount Nimba is the tallest mountain in Guinea. And so, yeah, we were seeing really beautiful mountainous views all around us. Also kind of random, but just wanted to mention that in the last 4 or 5 days, I've seen more women driving motorcycles than I have for the rest of the continent combined. Like literally it's the first time I've seen it. And so pretty cool to be sharing the road with some women drivers again. As you get close to the border, there always starts to be more frequent police checkpoints. And here in Africa, there are like tons of police checkpoints, but also like military and customs and all these different like types of law enforcement officials. And so it's always hit or miss whether they're going to stop you or not. And if they do stop you, if they just want to chat, or if they're like going to make you take out your papers and I don't know, go through a whole rigmarole. So it's always like a bit stressful getting up to one of these checkpoints. We did get pulled over at this one and had to pull out our visa and our passports and show them to a few different officials. But they eventually let us go. Then we got to the immigration checkpoint, and this guy gave us a lot of trouble. He did not want to let us leave. First, he was saying that we only had a 5-day visa. Then he was saying that it was only an entry visa and not an exit visa. Then he was saying we should cycle all the way back to Conakry to get it validated at the airport. We've spoken to like 15 plus officials throughout our time in Guinea, and none of them had mentioned this. And even the police chief who gave us our stamp the most recent time, like wrote on it with passage to Cote d'Ivoire. So like we should have been good to go. Eventually, he decided to let us through. I don't really know why, but it took us 2 hours of sitting at that border and trying to reason with him. We were running out of daylight and still had to get processed on the Ivorian side, so we were just grateful to get out of there. We made it to the other side. It was a lot easier, but still just like a runaround. I don't know, these things are never that organized. Like we had to get our vaccines checked in one tent and then our visas checked in another building, and 2 different officers on different sides of the street wanted photos of us with our bikes, just like very strange. We made it to Cote d'Ivoire. We had to cycle like 30 miles in the dark, which is not ideal, but we made it to a hotel, and yeah, we're in a new country.